Hey there, this is the Orlando Squadcast. It is your one-stop shop for all the latest news, history, and updates from the City Beautiful.
Hey, checkers.
Ooh. Yeah. This city is so huge, so there's a lot going on.
So tips, secrets, happenings, anything that's new that's happening, you're going to be hearing it here first.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us as we explore the vibrant culture, people, and places that make Orlando so special. Get ready to be in the know and stay in the know with the Orlando Squadcast. Today, I am your host, Rob Stack, but I'm not alone. I can't do these things alone. I don't have the wherewithal. So I enlisted the help of a good buddy of mine, close friend, amazing hair, average weight, Jonathan Spiegel.
Stepping up to the mic like it is my night to say hello, Rob.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, dude. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Beautiful day, sunny day, 94 degrees,
gonna be
and
warm.
it's going to be warm. But you
Hot.
know what? Hot.
Smoking hot.
Smoking hot. Speaking of smoking hot, got our third co-host right over here, smoking hot, Mark.
That's
Rob.
so nice of you to say that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I've been focused on looking better and feeling better.
You look svelte. You look more energized.
Yeah, you know what the trick is?
You're enunciating.
I'm enunciating.
I like the
if
energy
you
in your
enunciate
voice.
and you don't eat as much, you don't gain weight.
You don't.
How
How
about
do you
that?
stay awake though?
You know what's weird? I don't know.
You know, if you're not
kids.
eating,
kids
and
But
really
I
you're
will
make
say,
you
going
sleeping-
back to, I don't know how to do these intros when I'm the third person introduced because I want to say stuff.
Yeah.
But then you guys are talking so beautifully, and then I feel like I'm interrupting it. But like,
Mhm.
is the third person revealed? Like our listeners kind of know us now,
Yeah, they know us.
but I feel weird about it.
no, don't
Is
feel
it okay
weird
if I
about
talk
it.
It's a
next time?
part
Listen.
of our. It's a part of our.
Should we do
our
the next one?
shtick.
It
is.
It's our.
I
I feel like we should do one next time where we say, "Hey, I'm Rob, I'm Johnny, and I'm Mark," and we can just then go. Or is that weird?
Well, let's experiment. I kind of like. Well, somebody told me that, they're like, I think you're established now. You don't need the introduction.
We don't need a big
But I
intro.
like them. I like the shtick.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
nice.
that each time is different, and each time it brings a little bit of goodness and a variance to our podcast.
I agree.
You
It
know,
does. Speaking
I
of
agree.
our listeners,
Oh,
if you're a
yes.
returning listener, thanks for listening. You're
Thank
our
you.
favorite one. If you're new to the podcast,
Also,
just watching
thank
us
you.
on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. We release a new episode every Wednesday, and it's super exciting, super fun. Did you guys hear?
what?
We actually have been nominated
Oh, yeah.
for Best Local Podcast by Orlando Weekly.
Orlando
Like,
Weekly.
huge news.
So what we need is all of our listeners to go to our website,
Mhm.
www.orlandosquadcast.com, and right there's a link. Go ahead and vote for us because we would love if we won.
That would be really, really awesome.
We're trying to make this known to create this amazing Orlando community together and to be in the know and stay in the know. And
That's right.
This would definitely put us on a different level. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
definitely.
exciting.
I think I can speak for all of you guys. Like, I've enjoyed making this podcast. I've enjoyed meeting the people that
Oh,
we've
it's so
met. I
cool.
can't wait to meet more people and just basically broadcast all the good
Yeah.
that comes from our city.
Yeah. And we're also looking for more sponsors. We have 2 amazing sponsors already, but we're going to
yes.
open up some new packages. If you
Yep.
want to be on our show, we'll
You
give
can
a
find
feature.
that at our website as
Yep.
well,
Mhm.
orlandosquadcast.com.
Yep, you can apply
And-
there.
And we're also looking for guests. Like,
Sure.
if you know of somebody that would be a great guest for
if
our
you have
show.
a story to tell,
Yeah, about being in Orlando.
let us hear it.
Speaking of guests, we have a good one today, right?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Josiah Candelaria.
Yeah. it's
But
gonna be
before we
good.
get to Josiah, I got to ask you,
What?
have you been up to, Rob?
Oh my God.
Tell
Okay.
the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Tell the world.
Okay. So you guys know the Orlando Ferris wheel thing, right?
I do
Yes.
know that.
The eye.
The
whatever.
eye.
Mm,
I
familiar.
did the sister one, the Star Flyer.
What?
I did
the
the
thing
Star-
that spins you
the thing
around?
that
Why did
spins
you
you.
do that?
I thought it would be more fun than it was.
Every time I drive by it, my butt clenches.
Okay,
I'm
hold on a
so
second.
anxious. The
And I
thing that
took-
flies around.
We'll go back to your butt clenching in a moment.
Okay.
But how are you restrained in the apparatus that's flinging you around? Are you sitting down on your clenched butt? Are you laying on your belly like Superman style?
Is it just a swing?
Is it swing?
So you know when you get into that ride, like at the fair,
Yep.
and it's like, a ranky-danky little
Yeah, it's like a
seat
metal
with like
clink,
a
clink,
metal
clink.
seat
Yep.
belt.
Yep.
It's kind of like that still.
No way.
But just a lot freaking
Could you see
higher.
like the moon? That
Oh,
thing
you
is
could
so-
see the whole city. Some people, the majority of people that I don't want to like bash the Star Flyer.
Oh, because it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I've never ridden it.
I was
won't.
terrified.
No, I just you talking about it. I'm
And
uncomfortable
and
right
I
now.
brought my young son on it with me as well. And
Why?
it was terrifying.
Can you ride in?
I don't
can you
even
ride
like
in
riding-
pairs,
N-
or do you have to ride single
you
person?
ride single person.
Okay, cool.
Ugh.
It is terrifying.
Did you think you were gonna die the entire time?
Yes, because here's the thing: like, if there's wind, at some point you will be like, at some point the wind will push you, right? So it pushes you around, and then you'll get pushed into the wind, and you'll see the seats lift up
No,
into
like
the
in
wind
front of
and
you
go,
and behind?
yes, and then you
Nope.
feel the same experience, and it pushes you all the way to the edge.
It
of
doesn't
your
sound
seat.
awesome, Jonathan. It
Yes,
does not
that sounds
awesome.
so awesome.
Did you
looked
lose
over-
a bet or something? Why did you do that?
I thought it was gonna be fun,
I'm in.
and-
I'm in like Flynn.
and both me and my son were a little scared.
A little?
We were.
I barely like riding like a tiny like barnstormer ride with my kids. I'm like, they're gonna fly out the whole time.
Oh my god!
But the people, the young, I mean, obviously the ride was full of young people, and they
Right.
loved it. They don't care about.
You were like
dying.
super old to ride it.
I was a little bit too old.
They're
to
like,
ride
look at that old guy.
it. Yeah,
Trying to
there's
be
a
young.
medium of age that enjoy the ride. I would say teens.
the eye.
How much did it cost?
It was like $30. There's someone
$30 to,
Like
to
30
feel like you're gonna
to feel
fall
like
to
I
your
was in-
death.
I
You know what?
Alright.
I'm in. I'll do it.
That was my experience.
The slingshot one, I've done that.
Yeah.
We were there for that.
Yep, and I did the
that's
the dragon drop,
don't
which
know
is
what
the
that
St.
is.
Louis Six Flags version of the slingshot.
Oh
one.
yeah.
Then I did the drop one at Fun Spot.
I've done that one.
I don't need to feel like I could just fall.
You know what?
I don't
Okay,
want
what's
that.
the one at the fun spot called? What one was that?
It's called oh gosh, I'm so
Oh.
sorry, Fun Spot, and especially since you guys were our sponsors this week. Um, let's just say it's called the billowing barrel.
We'll put it in the
run.
show notes.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll put it in the show
notes.
notes.
Yeah.
If you know what it
Well-
is, leave a comment for us. Because
Yeah.
It's fleeting me. But what's scary about that one is you have to pull the cord to drop it.
Nope.
oh, for sure. So whenever I wrote it the first time, I was the one pulling the cord, and I messed with all my friends.
Oh, that's good.
So I was like 1, 2,
That's funny.
3, and then we all just kind of like sat
Oh man,
there.
I don't want to ride it with
They
you.
were like,
I don't want to do anything with you.
and I was like, "What's going on with this?" They were like, "What?" And I was like, "What is going?"
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome.
Classic Spiegel.
Classic.
Terrifying. Anyways,
That's
terrifying.
awesome. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm proud of you, but also not
Yeah.
envious.
You've been doing a lot of extreme stuff
Yeah,
lately.
you're crazy, man.
That's cool.
You know what? I'm
love
just
it.
like trying to do them while I actually physically can, because
Yeah.
I know at some point I'm just gonna be like, no, hard pass on some
Hard
of these
pass,
things. So,
You know what it's time for?
is it time for the O-Town?
I think it's time for the O-Town.
O-Town Throwdown.
I'm excited. All right,
I'm
let's-
excited for our sound bite whenever we get that.
Yeah, whenever
Insert
we get that.
soundbite.
All right, I'm gonna start like I always do with the local yokel. What's happening now? This is gonna feel a little weird, you guys, because it's July, right?
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
gonna feel weird. You know what I'm gonna talk about?
What are you gonna talk
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
about? It's July.
That's my point.
Motion
it feels
allowed.
weird. You know what though? It starts August 11th.
We're in
No.
Orlando.
Yes, it starts in August 11th. So the thing about Orlando is that we don't really have seasons. So when the fall comes, we have to force it. We've all done it. I do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do it with
I force
Halloween.
Christmas.
Then we do it with Thanksgiving. Then we force Christmas because the winter, the seasons don't change. So Mickey's not so scary. Like every year, it's like earlier and
Oh my
earlier and
God.
earlier.
Oh
So
my
like
gosh.
right now, tickets are on sale, you guys, and
Get
they're already
outta
selling
here.
out. They're already selling out. So you can't go in September and get whatever day you want. You need to start booking it now. But what's cool about going in August and September? First of all, it's a little like it's not as crowded.
Yeah.
Right. Let me look at some things.
Yes, but it's hot as a tropical rainforest.
Yeah, but
I
it's
know.
hot
August-
anyway. Yeah,
August
but if you
in-
go 7 to midnight, 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I would be dragging my
cooler.
daughter around in a puddle of
But you
s-
can
sweat
go.
and tears.
You can go a couple times. You can go in August when because all the rides are open. You guys.
That's pretty
and
cool.
nobody's
It
there.
is
It's a special.
true.
It's like a special. It's like
It
a
is
buyout.
true. Yeah,
You
it's
live
like
a
a
ticketed
buyout.
event
It
for
feels
the
like a ticketed.
rides.
Yeah. So
buyout.
and it's
Okay.
cheaper to go in August.
Okay.
So again, don't think of it more of a. I mean, the Halloween part of it's cool, but it's like you can pick a date and like basically start off your Halloween, your fall.
Yeah.
Even if it's like because school starts August 10th or something
Mhm.
like that. So it's the fall, right?
Those castle show performers got to be like,
Yeah, but the parade. Have you done Not So Scary
months.
lately?
I have. Yeah.
Did
Not,
you,
not lately, but I have done it.
dude?
The-
Have you done it?
I was
hear
in the parade.
What part? What'd you do?
I was part of the Happy Bear.
You
The
were?
Happy Dancing Bear. Yes, I
Oh,
was.
that's fun. The
Oh.
parade. That's the best parade on property.
Yeah, the parade
I-
is pretty awesome.
So
the guys with the shovels.
Yeah, the grave diggers.
normally I am not a fan of parades. I hate parades.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something about parades where I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Have you seen that one?
but I have heard that the
You gotta go.
parade
You
there
gotta
go
is
this year.
incredible.
Go
no,
in
I
August.
always try to beat
No.
it. I
Leads
always try
out
to
with the
get
No,
around
if
headless
you
it.
go-
horseman.
It's
Bro,
so cool.
It's so
But if
So
you go in
cool.
August or September, the crowds aren't going to be in there. So you can still ride all. You can like walk on to
Mhm.
like Mine
The
Train,
rides,
you guys.
yeah.
Yep.
This is your chance.
Mhm.
And then if your kids are hot, you ride the rides, cool them down.
Yeah,
with some
we always
wind.
go in October because my son's birthday's in October,
Yep.
and we make it a thing, and it's super crowded and fun, and it's not as hot.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to go this year in August, just one time, to be like, let's bang this out. Let's get all the rides.
They got good candy there too.
Yeah, you get all this.
You
candy.
get all
You
the
do
candy.
get, and it's good candy too.
and they
It's
have
not-
meet and greets with like all the characters, dressed up
characters,
in
yeah.
Halloween
the
costumes.
dead
So anyway,
dance.
most people are going to go to listen
Might
to
check
our
it out.
podcast.
The dead
But I
dance?
suggest try to go this year in August.
The deathly dance. What's the dapper dance?
The
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 cadaver
cadaver
dance.
dance.
cadaver
Cadaver
dance.
dance.
Ooh,
so
nice.
clever.
Good
It's
job.
so
We did it. We
clever.
did it.
Yeah.
all right,
well
so
done.
yeah, so that's weird to talk about in July, but
Mhm.
it's
Well-
coming. It's in less than 4 weeks. It opens,
Yeah.
and the Sanderson Sisters show is really good too. If you
Oh
haven't seen
yeah,
that, go
they
check
they
that.
keep doing reiterations of that,
It's so
right? They
good.
keep changing
So
it
good.
and adding
Yep.
things, which I
Mhm.
love. The Sanderson Sisters.
So
show.
good. The whole a whole event. It's the best event. Of
It
the year.
really is a great
Yep,
event.
it's the best event. So go a few times.
That was my win.
Speaking of, but I mean, I didn't mean to take your Park Narc thunder, but I thought that would be
No.
good. Hopefully, you're not going to talk about the exact same thing.
I'm not going to talk about the exact
Okay,
same
what do
thing.
you got with
What I am-
Park Narc?
Park Narc. Just a quick little thing. There is a few places in. I'm going to be doing an alcohol-based Park Narc.
Oh, you did it
again
last
Oh,
this
so
week.
this
Did it
one's for
last
the
week.
adults.
This one's for the adults.
Okay.
So if you're feeling like you need to wet your whistle whenever you are at Universal Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going into the park on the left-hand side, going into Islands of Adventure,
Mhm.
there is a full bar outside. The hangar bar.
Oh,
they
I
have the
love the
Margaritaville,
hangar bar.
the Jimmy Buffett plane.
Yeah, I like that place.
plane. So that has a full bar over there on that side. As you're continuing to walk in, if you go through Islands of Adventure, just as soon as you enter and you go underneath of the stone archway,
Mm-hmm.
before you make a left to go towards the Hulk or make a right to go towards Dr. Seuss, just kind of make a really quick right-hand turn around that corner, and there's a full bar hidden right there in that corner.
No way.
Full bar.
Just to start the
all
day.
the alcohol, just start the day off. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
yep.
Go in there and get yourself a nice little Bloody Mary,
Right.
or a Bloody Maria if you want some tequila instead of vodka.
Ooh.
You know what I mean, right? Yep,
I didn't
for
know that
sure,
was a
for
thing.
sure. It
I
is
didn't
a
know that
thing.
was a thing. A Bloody
Yeah, Bloody
Maria.
Maria. So instead of the vodka, you do the tequila in there.
Fun fact.
Local bartender.
Fun fact.
Learn something every day on
Yeah.
the Squadcast.
Yeah, you know. So you stick with me, kids. Yell on a lot. And so if you're doing that, that's Islands of Adventure.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to the Universal Studios side, you got to do a little bit of walking before you get to the full bar, but it's 100% worth it. You're going to be going to Finnegan's in New York.
Oh,
I do.
All right,
that's
so
my
like,
jam.
and
I
then
love
as
Finnegan's.
employees and people of Universal and that kind of stuff, you all know that that's one of the jams. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
It's more of it's like a local spot
like
for
a
the
local
for the
spot.
team members.
Yep, for sure.
That's
So-
okay. So we went there. I took some friends there not too long ago, and we
Yeah.
saw Mario Lopez there.
No way.
And like we were pretty drunk, and we were like, the girls were chatting, and I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
And then like it was going on for like 10 minutes, and they're like, we think that's Mario Lopez, and I was like, no, there's no way he'd be here because he was just hanging
Yeah,
out.
he loves
It was Mario Lopez.
Mario
Lopez.
Yeah.
Freaking Lopez. Thank you so much, Mario, for sponsoring
the
our
show.
episode
Yeah, we
this week.
appreciate
Thank you
you.
very, very much, bro. Appreciate that. And you look fantastic, by the way.
Always.
That
I don't
skincare.
understand how he
Oh
does it.
my
I don't
gosh,
either.
dude.
Maybe he's just
Slater just
flawless.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's
Flawless,
no
bro.
Finnegan's is like I don't think it's a hidden thing.
It's not a hidden thing.
But I don't think people realize
But
how
people
fun
don't realize
it is.
how fun it is that you get a full bar there. It's an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whenever you're going in,
Fish and
sometimes you have
chips.
one of the buskers there that's playing on the street.
Yeah.
That's up there on the stage and stuff. Just a really cool
when
place.
I did Blues Brothers there, I was in Blues Brothers for a while,
Mhm.
and if it was something, if the car was broken or something,
Yeah.
we couldn't do that. We entered through Finnegan's, but we would go in there and just hang for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
before the show started while
Yeah.
the saxophone would play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would just sit at tables and hang out with people. It was so
I used to
fun,
work
dude.
there
At Finnegan's.
at Finnegan's, and I remember you guys coming
Every time
into
we
the
had a
restaurant
spot,
Bartender? Like
as
a-
I was a busboy.
Oh my
Yep,
god.
So
for sure.
we're 2 for 2 so far. I talked about Mickey's Not So Scary, and you talked about Finnegan's. In both places, you're like, "Oh, I worked there."
Yeah, so
Oh,
like
wow.
as we go further along in this podcast, the more jobs we
You're gonna
talk
be-
about,
yeah.
you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, John!
You
I
had
didn't know
so
you worked
many-
this many stuff."
You're a
That's
baker, a butcher,
Well, what can I
a
say?
busboy.
I was raised on a farm, and I'm artsy fartsy. Anyway,
So
Awesome.
the
That's fun.
Home Squad has probably been your longest job for a while, huh?
100%.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
besides being a student,
Yeah,
Good for
awesome.
you know what I mean?
All right, bars. I love it.
Yeah, bars. There you
Cool,
go.
bars.
Thanks,
Well,
everybody.
let's move on to progress.
Progress?
Let's talk about progress.
Let's see
Okay,
what's
guys.
coming to Orlando. Talk to us.
All right, Disney has abandoned plans to open the new employee campus in Lake Nona, Florida, amid rising tensions with the state's governor. How do you guys feel about this?
How they
Did you hear
canceled
about it? Because like we talked about it on the show. We talked about
Yeah, we
the
did talk
Lake Nona
about it.
campus and like all the high-paying jobs that it was bringing
Canceled.
to the state, and now they just canceled it. Multi-million-dollar.
Yeah, that's kind of a hot
project.
take right now.
It is kind of a hot take right now.
It's-
but I thought we should bring
I
it
don't know. I
up
mean,
because
I
know people
have,
had mixed feelings about it to begin
Right.
with. People were like, not really on board
Right.
with
They were like, we don't want your California money down here in Florida and all that different kinds of stuff.
Well, I
too.
mean, I
Right.
personally know a few people that I helped buy houses down here for those jobs,
Mhm.
and some of them lost their jobs already, which
Mhm.
sucks. And then some of them are like, well, then why am I here? Because a lot of people left their families, or they already came here because they had to be here by, I think, 2024.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they already said, well, I'll come there because I have to do anyway, and
Yeah,
I'll let my
people-
family will meet
Yeah.
me later. So now a lot of them are like, well, screw this, I'll just go back to California.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
my family's there.
right.
So it's kind of it's weird how they did it for a year and they kind of faked all the cast members out.
Yep.
Picked all the
You
cast
know?
members out. I think it also really sucks for all the people that were anticipating all the maybe the smaller businesses that were
Yeah.
anticipating all of the bigger communities to be
growth.
brought in, all the
Yeah.
growth. You
I mean,
know,
they were
like
high-paying jobs, so
no.
now they're gone. So
I mean,
that money
again-
that came into the state is no longer going to be.
It's
there.
easy.
Right.
I think it's easy to look on the outside as, just a local and be kind of frustrated or frustrated with Disney. But at the same time, we're not inside those walls making decisions.
Sure.
Disney's a huge corporation, and
Mhm.
every decision isn't, they don't just come in the office one day and be like, we don't need that. Like, it's very thought out. So I'm sure.
because I mean, Lake Nona, no matter how you throw it, it's gonna keep progressing anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So
Agreed.
like let's go ahead and just be a little bit of an advocate.
Yeah.
Lake Nona is already on the map because it has that great VA there. They have that awesome
All the
children's
hospitals.
hospital
Yeah,
and
it's a
stuff
med
there.
city. It's got USTAs over there,
You know
so
what I mean?
it's
So it's already placing itself as a new and upcoming spot.
Right.
It just really freaking sucks that
So you think
you
it'll
can't
slow it
add
down
that.
a little bit?
I think it'll slow it down a little bit. And then so it does suck.
It's
but I
not.
still
I mean,
think-
obviously it was progress. So obviously it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
But again, this was a mixed feeling project to begin with.
But also
So-
Disney is I mean, that's what brings most people down here to live anyway. So
Right.
they're not doing it to on purpose to be like, oh, let's stop their growth in Orlando. That doesn't make
Right.
sense.
No.
you know?
Right. Well, I think it's progress. I think it's just progress. No question mark on that. I was like, okay, it's progress.
yeah,
Yeah, they got to do what they got to do.
But like they got to do what they got to do. But like they'll something will fill a void.
I
I'm
agree.
sure.
Yep.
I
We're
agree.
Orlando. We're strong.
I know we are strong.
We're the city beautiful.
we
Yeah.
are the city beautiful.
Speaking of strong,
Speaking
should we
of
talk
strong,
at our?
Yeah.
He's
You
gonna be
wanna talk
awesome.
Oh, we've
Josiah?
got. He's an amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like one of the fastest growing like restaurants in Orlando.
can't
It's
wait.
super healthy, vegan, raw food derived from his culture back in Puerto Rico. So,
love it.
and I know he's opened 4 locations, like really quickly. Young guy, full of passion, full of drive. Can't wait to have him on. Can't wait
Yeah.
to hear what he has to say.
Let's get to him.
Let's talk about his journey.
Let's do it.
Welcome back. Our next guest is a local entrepreneur who has turned his passion for health, wellness, and his native culture into a thriving enterprise, the Purple Ocean Superfood Bar. This local brand has made organic, vegan, and delicious food the talk of Orlando. Starting from a single location, his vision and drive have expanded Purple Ocean Superfood to 4 prime spots around Orlando, each one serving up vibrant and nourishing meals that sets a new standard for healthy cuisine. He has successfully filled a culinary gap, bringing a taste of Puerto Rico to our city with his vibrant acai and pitaya bowls. More than just a food bar, Purple Ocean champions a lifestyle of sustainability and nourishment for our bodies and environment. So get ready as we dive deep into his journey from the Puerto Rican shores to the thriving heart of Central Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Josiah Candelaria.
Josiah.
Hello,
Josiah.
Wow,
To
hey,
the show.
that intro was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
we like to do an intro.
Man, that
You
is
know what I
that
mean?
is stellar.
It's
I feel
like this is
privileged.
our opportunity to really showcase like what you've done and
Yeah.
see that we've done some homework on you and we've learned a little bit about what you're doing and what you're doing now. So welcome to the Squadcast.
Thank
we
you so
are
much.
Orlando based. So tell us about why Orlando, why you brought your business here, a little bit about your upbringing here in Orlando.
Sure. First off, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be here.
Yeah,
I'm
hell
very
yeah.
excited. And I'm more excited to know that I'm here in Orlando and growing with the city. We talked a little bit
Yeah.
about it.
How much growth? it's experiencing.
How much growth and yeah, I got here in an early age. I was only 5 years old when I got here.
Yeah.
So I've basically grown up with the
You
city.
did grow up here.
So
yeah, I
you're
grew up-
native.
I grew-
yeah,
yeah.
We can call you a native.
Yeah,
for sure,
definitely,
for sure.
definitely.
I'm definitely from Orlando. And yeah, I started Purple Ocean in 2016. Obviously,
What'd you do before?
between
You're young.
yeah, I'm. Should I say my age?
Yeah, so your age, man. Be proud of it. Be proud
Yeah,
of
be
it.
proud, bro.
Yeah, I'm 30.
You better
I'm
work.
30 years old.
And you have
I'm,
four-
I'm a baby. I'm young,
Dude,
man.
you're just starting, man.
Yeah.
So what'd you do before you? So 2016 was.
You
So
went
that
from,
was
you went
6,
from
7 years
5
old.
years old
To
to
6 years old.
2016.
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
sorry,
what
I jumped the
happened in
gun.
that gap?
Yeah, how'd you open a
Sorry.
restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, baseball was my passion.
Cool.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Baseball was my passion. I played baseball since I was 5 years old,
Hell
all
yeah.
the way, through college and a little bit of pro. And obviously, in between that, I had a stellar family that would just show me great moral-based values and a lot of discipline. And my father and my mother also own their own, small business at one point.
Culinary based?
No culinary base
Okay,
at
cool.
all. So actually, there's not one person in my family that has actually gone into the restaurant business.
Really?
Wow.
I'm the first one.
That's awesome.
Was that because of you guys always cooking and stuff in your home, or like how did that kind of come about?
Definitely. My family has been in the kitchen for a long time. I mean, as far as we know, Hispanic women and how they cater to their family, they're always, in the kitchen.
Culture,
So,
yeah,
but
cuisine is a big part of the
oh
culture,
yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah.
cuisine is a huge part of the culture. Have you guys been to Puerto Rico, or have you guys been
I've
to?
been to Puerto
I've been to
Rico.
Puerto
Yeah.
Rico.
The food is
It's
amazing.
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 Yeah.
Amazing. We like to fry everything, but
That's why it's amazing.
Nothing wrong.
Tempura.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't eat anything that's not fried.
Yeah, why would I?
so obviously seeing them throw down in the kitchen as a kid really interests me. Number one, not because I really like to cook per se in the beginning. I just love to eat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a big eater, and being in athletics, your hunger, your appetite is huge, and man, did they fill that gap?
So is baseball the only
So-
sport you played? Or did you play
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. At least competitively. Obviously, I would recreationally play a whole bunch of stuff.
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure. So you played in the pros?
So I play in Dominican Republic. It's
Okay.
like because baseball has like
Yep.
a lot
The
of tiers
tiers,
that you
yeah.
have to go through.
Yeah.
So there was one which is basically like the Dominican Summer League.
Yeah.
Then it's like single A, double A, triple A, like
Yep,
that,
yep.
and then pros. So I was in Dominican Republic for the DSL, which is Dominican
Nice.
Summer League.
Yeah.
So I played there for a year.
Some fantastic
Yeah.
freaking ball players.
Oh
down there,
yeah,
dude.
oh yeah, and
like that's why you guys have your own separate league. It's
yeah.
like, there's
Dominican
so many
Dominican
good people.
Republic. So I'm from Puerto Rico,
Right.
but in Dominican Republic, they do have their own academies and stuff
Yeah.
that are affiliated.
Sure, sure, sure.
So I got the privilege of doing that really early on, right after high school,
Cool.
essentially.
Yeah.
And
So-
learn a lot of discipline and
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
even
life
even
skills.
coming up to even get there, right? You need a lot of discipline,
Mhm.
and that was something that was in my life.
we had Chris Johnson on
Yeah, last month.
last month.
Oh, okay.
Football
And,
NFL player.
NFL player, and
Yeah,
he talked
yeah.
a lot about that as well. Discipline
Yeah.
was a huge part of his transition
Forging him,
into
yeah,
the
absolutely.
business.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
1,000%,
Yeah.
1,000%.
That's really cool.
Because it's not. There's nothing like seeing a vision and just beelining it right to it and
Yeah.
not looking elsewhere.
So let's talk about that. So you played baseball for a
Mhm.
year professionally in the
Mhm.
DR, and then where did you come back to Orlando right then, or
So I actually came back to Orlando just to be with my family, and then I actually ended up going to college in Texas
okay,
Okay.
because it didn't work out in Dominican Republic. So when I came back, I had actually lost my scholarship because I stayed in Dominican Republic, seeking to be signed and
Yep.
playing more professional baseball. And then so when I came back to Orlando, I did my due diligence to start to contact some coaches around and whatnot, and ended up connecting with a school in Texas. So I went out there, played for a semester, came back obviously for my break,
Mhm.
and decided I had left just right after high school. I hadn't really been with my family. And then when I got back from the Dominican Republic, I left again to Texas. So
Right.
I started to seek a local school here in Orlando, and then I went to Florida Christian College,
Cool.
which is in Kissimmee, and I played baseball there. And that was really my last year.
got it.
And then I started to continue to work because I was working as I was playing at the same time. Believe it or not,
What'd you do? What were
I
you
was
working?
doing retail.
retail.
I was doing retail. I was doing at first I was at Express, obviously the clothing store.
Yeah.
I worked there.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I worked there when it was structure, and then
You guys
went into
both have
Express.
express bodies.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Both
do.
got that
Yeah,
slightly-
so-
Yeah, we do have that look. I
Yeah,
guess.
so that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because they're always recruiting people.
Oh
So,
yeah. I walked in. They're like,
"Hey man, you fit the script."
"Do you need an application?" I'd be like, "No, I'll take the job."
Yeah, and so I did that for a time being, and then I went into the other side of retail, which is like Home Depot and Lowe's, and then I ended up. My last retail was Lowe's, which I loved, by the way, because I
Really?
was in I was in outside garden.
Yeah.
and being outdoors for me was
it?
that was my thing.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know? And there was a little bit more flexibility and freedom being out there.
So
and
at that time you were doing all that stuff. Were you envisioning yourself owning your own business, or were you just
At that
kind of
time,
trying
no.
to figure life out?
at that time I was still playing baseball. I still had that one vision.
That was
Yeah.
it.
And that was
It's hard
it.
to let go of that.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to let go. When you're an athlete, it's hard to let go. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. I'll tell
Did you
that.
get hit by a pitch or something?
No, actually,
He doesn't
No.
play sports.
No, my cousin was going to be professional. He's one of the pitching coaches for the Florida Marlins.
Really?
He
Oh,
got,
right.
he got hit by a wild pitch, and so
wow.
so it ruined his baseball career.
Yeah, that's unfortunate though.
I don't know
That's
shit
crazy.
about sports, but I can tell some stories.
But in my case, it was just an injury on like a backswing. I messed up my actually non-throwing shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, on a backswing.
really?
Dude, it's
Yeah,
one
on a
injury.
backswing.
Like that's
Just
it.
one.
Yeah.
I was never the same after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what happened to make you finally say that's just a dream? You know that dream's not going to happen.
So that happened in a summer collegiate league.
Okay.
And so technically I wasn't playing for the university at that point.
Mhm.
And when you get injured and you're not during season, then you end
Lose
up
everything, right?
essentially losing your scholarship
Yeah,
if you
right.
can't
Right.
come back. So at that point I was just ready to start,
Something.
essentially my life,
Mhm.
and really just moving past baseball.
Mhm.
And
That's such a transition.
yeah.
So you didn't
Honestly,
at that
it was very
point
easy for
emotional.
me. It was very easy for me because I'm the type of person where I'm always looking for the next thing.
Yeah.
I really admire change,
Mhm.
and
That's
That
cool,
was-
man. A lot
yeah.
of people fucking hate it.
They
yeah, a
struggle
lot of
with it.
people
Struggle with it.
struggle with it, and
Yeah.
I think the more comfortable you feel with change, the more success you're gonna have because.
Sure.
It's
The
you're
more you can
adaptable
adapt to
then.
it.
Yeah, it's correct,
Yes.
correct. And when you adapt, you start to find routes to success. And
Have you always been like that? Adaptable?
I actually have been.
Well,
I actually have
it's-
been, and obviously it's something that you learn throughout your
Yeah.
time because you're put into situations where you have to adapt.
Yeah.
But
I
I've
think
always
that's your baseball training. Keep your eye on your ball, but you
Correct.
just move the ball over here
correct,
to another path.
correct.
So you're at Lowe's, you're Express. So then what?
Mhm.
At that, when did you have the vision to do what you're doing now?
I took
open
a
the
trip to
business?
Puerto Rico,
Okay.
and I had not taken the little ferry ride from Puerto Rico, the mainland, to a little island called Culebra. I had not done that yet, so I wanted to go see that. And when I did, at that dock, there was a little juice shop at that dock, and I had my first acai bowl there.
Nice, dude.
And when I had my first acai bowl there, I was just blown away by the dish.
Yeah.
Just immediately, I was like, "Wow, this is delicious."
So
And
fresh, just like
So
oh.
fresh.
Hitting different points on the palate. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got the crunch factor in there with the
textures,
granola.
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing, the whole
Yeah.
nine. So I got back from my trip. I got back to Orlando, and that was 2014.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, I'm really craving an acai bowl. I really want one.
And you can find one.
I can find one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Love that. This is the birth
So
of every
simple.
good
Isn't it
business,
so
right?
simple?
Couldn't find one.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and I took that with my, inspiration to really do something for myself,
Mhm.
which was something that my parents had always told me, especially my dad. He's like, there's nothing like working for yourself.
Mhm.
And I took that, and then I saw the opportunity in it, and I just went after it. Yeah.
Married them together.
Yeah.
Now, how did you have the idea of doing? Because it's also locally sourced, or locally based produce and things
Correct.
like that.
Correct. hmm
How did you make that decision when you were like, I'm just going to do stuff from here, making these ingredients this way? Like,
Yeah.
why? How did you come to that? Why not go to Publix and get
Yeah.
the
Well,
same shit?
so for me, everything that I do is with purpose.
Mhm.
So I try to, again, everything that I do, even at the the culinary level, there has to be a purpose behind it, and I think that's so important because people tie into that, they buy into that more,
Sure, yeah.
and it tugs on their heart a little bit more, and that's something that obviously is something that we want to do, not only because it's good for business,
Mhm.
really, if we want to be honest, but it's good for your life as well. Like
yeah.
it gives you purpose for what you're doing, and it just makes life so much more beautiful to live. So
And I think that a lot of people seek out foods like this now
Mhm.
because chains are everywhere, and the
Very
food
true.
quality here specifically, I feel like has gotten diminished over
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So I feel like people truly do seek it out now. They
Yeah.
look for natural foods. They look for locally grown
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
become
Correct.
I'm gonna go backwards a little bit because now I'm curious. So 2014, you
Yeah.
couldn't find the bowl.
Yeah.
2016, you opened.
Correct. What was
What
good-
happened in that
I like
gap?
that
because
question.
a lot of people
I like that
might be
question.
listeners
Skip over
like,
that.
I want to
Let's
open
go
my
over
own business. I just don't know how to do it.
I like that question.
Yeah.
And I actually if I do talk to somebody, a younger entrepreneur, somebody that's, just getting started, those are my years of focus right
those are
there.
hard.
Literally the 14 to 16
Yep.
is the 2 years that I talk to them about the most, because that was my 2 years of like research and development and really just like getting in the lab, right? Even at your own house, even in your own kitchen.
Mhm.
Just,
So did you make the first bowl?
Correct. Yeah. All the bowls I put together.
Trial and error, and
all the menu
fail forward?
items as well, alongside my team for
Mhm.
the what we used to expand the menu, which was the vegan burger side of it, the hot menu side of
Yeah.
it.
How'd you
Who was your first hire?
team? Yeah, like
My-
you were just in your kitchen making bowls.
Yeah, I was in my kitchen making
Yo, bro,
bowls, and
get in here.
and it was just
Yeah.
actually my friends were my advisory group essentially.
Oh, nice.
So I would just invite them over and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you guys need to come and try these and tell me what you guys think."
Mhm.
And that was pretty
That's it.
much it for. And I was doing a lot of traveling actually, because I was working at a healthcare administration office.
Okay.
I was doing marketing for them,
Mhm.
so that's where my
So
marketing.
you're learning the
background.
marketing from
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah.
I love it.
And so I was doing that, and I was at 20. How old was I? 22, 23 or something. 22. I was getting salary, and I got my own office, and I
Right.
was head of marketing. I had like a team of 4 people, and we were doing trade shows, and
Yep.
it was at that point for a 22-year-old, it was a lot of money. So
Mhm.
I did take some of that and did some field work, and I did a lot of traveling to California
Mhm.
and really like the Mecca and capitals of the acai bowl,
Trying to find
Just
Trying to
research
find-
the best
using
ingredients,
right,
that
using
kind
your
of
day
stuff.
right.
job to
Mhm.
fund your
Correct.
business.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you were kind of now fast forward just a little tiny bit after that first store is opened,
hmm
and you're like, "Yo, this is going pretty darn well."
So I opened
really
a
dig it.
truck first.
You opened a truck
food truck.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, groovy. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Where-
So I opened a
did
food
you
truck.
post up at UCF games? Did you go to? like,
Man,
where-
I've got so many stories of me just getting kicked out of places.
Yeah, because you park and just.
'Cause
So
I
you
would
bought
just-
the truck. Is that what you could afford, or was that the plan?
So that's what I could afford.
Huh.
And I'll tell you a wild story. I started with $8,000. And I built a
Wow.
food truck with $8,000.
Wow,
that is
No way,
unheard of.
dude.
That
And
is
I'll
unheard
tell
of.
you
Buy
how.
like a Vespa
I'll tell you
for
how.
$8,000 now.
Yeah, so I took my $8,000 and I bought a little cargo trailer. It was 14. I still have it, by the way. It's still around town.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
You can't
It's a
get rid of
14.
it.
Is
That's
a is actually it was a 16-foot trailer V-nose, and it was only like $2,800. It was a gentleman that had used it to move north.
Mhm.
I think it was. I want to say Philadelphia. Don't quote me on that. And he got up there, and he was there for 3 months. He said, "It's way too cold up here." Moved right back down, and the trailer was just sitting on the side of his house because all he had used it. He bought it just to move his stuff.
Right.
And it was bare. It was just a cargo trailer.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and there was a gentleman that I knew in the Forsyth, the little warehouses over there,
Mhm.
that did some steel work. And I was like, "Hey, can you cut a hole in the side of this and put a window?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Give me $500." I was like, "All right, cool." So I got the window put in, and between myself, my uncle, and my dad, we did plumbing with like PEX
Yep,
and just
yep.
like putting stuff together.
Yep.
And
Scotch
you get a little
tape.
SureFlow water pump, and you get your 2 tanks, and you get your 3
No
compartment
way,
sink,
dude.
and you get your
Mhm.
hand wash
Yep.
sink. And I bought used refrigerators and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I bought some like really at the time, obviously super expensive Vitamix blenders. The Vitamix or
Worth
Vitamix.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super worth it.
Worth it,
Super
'cause
worth
it's
it.
like
That was more than the
That's
trailer.
the heart
trailer.
of a
Yeah.
your
Right,
kitchen.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Like, it's like you invest in the knives.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's
then
like
the cut doesn't have to
$500 for a
work.
blender for me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like that's how
Lot,
much it,
bro.
That's like
the window
10% of your
cost.
budget.
my chest was about to explode, and
Yeah.
I needed 2 of them. You're talking about $1,000
Right.
on blenders. I was like, what is going on? But
Yeah.
anyways, long story short, we put that thing together, and I decided to launch in the corner of where Chase is now. Chase the bank is
Mhm.
Alafaya and University.
Yep.
That little corner right there
Yep. Over on the
This
east.
was nothing.
Nothing.
Remember
Yeah.
that? Remember that?
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that.
So I was like, man, this is it. So I park up there. I
Couldn't
post
do
on
that
my
now.
Instagram and I know. I park there. No, check this out. I post on my Instagram, grand opening, address, like the whole 9. And I'm there for about an hour, and I've already sold some stuff. And here comes this lady walking, from the Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
El
Or so I thought
Yeah.
was,
El
from
Cerro, is that what it was at the time?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's Oro, Azteca de Oro or something.
Yeah.
Or that might be the one across. But anyways, here's this lady comes walking over. I'm like, must be wanting to buy a bowl or something. And she's like, hey, you guys got to get out of here. This is private property. Like, you guys can't park here. Who told you guys can park here? You guys have to leave. On my grand opening, an hour into it.
Did you re-blast? You're like, we're moving 3 blocks down.
Yeah. So that's when your whole, like, you start to pivot and
Adaptable.
maybe a lot of people might say, hey, I'm shutting down.
It's a
home.
sign. I'm not supposed to do this.
Right. I'm not supposed to do this or something. Hey,
Yep.
that's a great point. But
Yep.
for me, it was okay.
Where else
Where
can
are
I
we
go?
moving right now?
Yeah.
Where are we
We're
moving
here.
to? Yeah, we're here. Like, no, we're
I got
moving.
$2,000.
So I jumped.
I got $1,000 worth of blenders in my truck.
Yeah, we need to make some acai bowls. So I jump in my car. I run to the Chevron on the corner of Colonial and Alafaya.
Yep.
And I was like, I walk in there and I see the guy. I was like, hey, can I park a food truck here? He's like, yeah, you can park it there. Give me $50. I think it was like, give me $50.
Easy.
And I was like, say less. I
Yeah.
went back, hitched the trailer, came back,
Yep.
dropped it off, and then we worked there. I think it was like for the first month and a half.
Okay.
$50 a day.
I think he saw some more
Groovy.
movement, and
Yeah.
it started to quickly,
Increase.
Yeah,
75,
yeah.
100,
Yeah.
and like
For
that.
sure.
But
So did you make your 8,000 back in that month and a half?
so it was tough because it was still a new business. The
Mhm.
Instagram still wasn't buzzing like that.
Yep.
So a month and a half into it, I was like, I need to go do events.
Yeah.
I'm getting called for events.
Mhm.
Tasty Takeover, which in that time was Tasty Tuesdays. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of the food truck events, and I did that for about a year and change.
So that was like 2015 before the store opened, right? Or no?
No. So the truck opened 2016.
Got
So in
it.
2017-ish was when I stopped doing events. So I did 16 to 17.
And you said
just
corporate events too, right?
all type of events,
All type of-
catering,
yeah.
corporate events
With that same truck.
with the same truck.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
dude.
Everything.
So yes, you made the $8,000 back.
I did. Yeah, I did. But I'll tell you, it was an uphill battle because a lot of the food truck events are from typically 9 or 4 in the afternoon to 9.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you're serving a morning, mid-morning, afternoon, early afternoon dish, which acai bowls were,
Right.
you're going to have a little bit of an uphill battle just with that alone.
Right.
And then think about how there was no acai there
Right.
here in Orlando.
Right.
Yep.
So I was essentially educating people the first
You were
year.
competing. They could either get your bowl or they could go get a hot dog and a burger or
Right.
a taco or
A $10 bowl of fruit
right.
Mm-hmm.
that I don't even know if I'm going to like, or
Mhm.
a $5, hot dog,
Right.
Right.
chip,
Yeah.
drink combo or
Macaroni and
whatever.
cheese.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle, in year one.
Mm-hmm.
But just having the food truck and the
But
low
you also
overhead,
believed in the product so much that
I believed so much in the product, and I believed so much in my hard work,
Yeah. Your ability to
my ability to
persevere.
push an idea
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
that I was not taking no for an answer.
Right.
So when did your first store open? The
My first
and
store
mortar.
opened 2 years ago, which
Okay.
was the Waterford Lake store.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
did
a
that-
huge.
That wasn't
Yeah,
during
I was gonna
COVID,
say, how did
basically, or
that-
two and change, because it was during COVID when I opened.
When did
Okay.
you decide to be like, all right, I'm ready to?
Brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I already had established the 2 trucks. I had the Ivanhoe Village truck, and then I
Mhm.
also had opened the Florida Mall truck. So I
Mhm.
had 2 physical locations out of trucks, essentially,
Right.
Sure.
but they were permanent.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I just saw, and obviously with social media, I started to see a lot of traction. I was like, okay, now we're ready.
So your food trucks help push your social media account.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because it's
social media
guerrilla
then push
marketing.
your
You're
food
taking
trucks.
the source to the people,
Right.
instead of sitting back and letting them come to you.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I did that for the first year, and that really was what pushed.
Wow.
Smart.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges between running food trucks compared to actual
Storage.
Storage. The challenges
Storage.
with the food trucks.
Yeah.
So now you have this like
because you wanted
you've
it
unlocked new levels now. Then having physical
yeah,
storage,
because
right?
remember, like the truck is only so big, so I mean
Right.
you can only hold
Sure.
certain amount of product.
Now you got to walk in. You got your. You got to.
Yeah.
But do you
Yeah.
feel like
that
that created a kind of a demand though? With like, oh, we run out.
Yeah.
we ran
Oh,
out,
definitely,
right?
definitely. You know, FOMO is a thing.
It
Yeah.
sure is.
FOMO is a thing,
Yeah.
and we did that early on purpose, actually,
Yeah,
at the events,
sure.
and it'd be like an hour sold out. Sorry guys, come next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come follow us.
Too
Yep,
big,
for
guys.
sure.
Yeah, because I had my day job still at one point.
Yeah.
You were still
Like-
doing both.
I was still
Like,
doing both at
When
one
did you
point.
stop that? When did
I
you
stopped that 4 months into
That's
the truck.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Be like, oh, we're all out, and I got to clock in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I got an appointment.
So I mean, it was funny story actually. I actually got fired from that job because of the conflict of interest. Because if you're doing marketing for a company, you're essentially representing them 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're also running another company,
Yeah.
even though it's just a
What a
food
blessing
truck for
you, though,
them,
right?
it was God telling me this is
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah,
full
for
time,
sure.
full
For
time
sure.
for you right now. This
Yeah.
is it, and now we're here.
So I noticed that the majority of your restaurants are kind of like in the East Orlando area,
Mhm.
over by UCF. Would you find that to be the majority of your clientele, college kids, or
I started there, so I wanted to make sure that I established myself and stayed there
Before you
before
branch
I
out.
kind of branched out. But I
Yeah.
am looking at South Orlando, like Nona,
no? Yeah, oh, that'd be a good
Kissimmee,
spot.
Kissimmee.
Yeah,
Just outside of Point Siena would be a hot spot in between Point Siena and Kissimmee,
Yeah.
like right in that freaking
Mhm,
place, bro.
mhm. Oh,
Yep.
like 192. You're
Like
saying?
192,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, for
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
yeah, by Margaritaville. They'll eat
By
that up.
Margaritaville.
Correct.
Yep.
hmm So I'm looking at those areas now, just to put a food truck out there.
Are you gonna stay in Orlando? Is that? Are you gonna? Are
Yeah, because you
bigger
could have
than
taken this anywhere. Orlando.
I want to. So that's a great question because a lot of people ask me that, and I want to build an Orlando brand.
Yeah,
I want
I'd
people
love hear
to-
that.
That's exclusivity, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want people to come to Orlando because Orlando has the best acai bowls and Purple Ocean.
Well, because
you know?
there's so much opportunity here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You could go to a different city, but there's
Mhm.
so many spots. We just even named 3 right
Mhm.
now. That's like
Mhm.
that would be
Yep.
great there.
Yeah. That'd be
great,
So
yeah,
the
I would have-
opportunity is
Yeah.
pretty endless here for you on
Yeah.
that.
Because I mean Orlando, I'm going to Disney,
Right.
You know,
Right.
but
No, there's culture here. We talk about
Yeah.
this all the time.
Yeah, we
there's
have
there's
so
so
much
many
culture.
hidden
Yeah,
gems
lots,
here
lots,
that people
so many
don't
things,
know.
yeah,
Well, even that
lots.
opportunity. I mean, you could.
What
you
is
could be at
Purple
Disney
Ocean mean?
Springs. You know what I mean?
What-
Like, why couldn't you be at Disney Springs?
We've actually kind of connected, and we've done their marathons, so we're already kind of foot in the door.
you're
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
door.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That would be huge.
That
What
would be
does
huge.
what does Purple Ocean mean, man?
So purple. So I'll actually give you a little bit of a breakdown. Purple
Cool.
Ocean. So purple is the color of the acai. That's
Mhm.
why I chose purple. And then ocean is just really my culture because I come from really a beach town in Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
And if you actually walk into my restaurants, you'll get that same vibe, right? Like a lot of greenery,
Mhm.
raw materials, you know, like decorative blocks, everything, you know, super organic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where that came from, Purple Ocean, and then Superfood Bar, because I originally had put acai bowls at the end of it,
Mhm.
but I was almost kind of, you know, selling myself short. What if
Niching
you know
too
purple?
much.
What if Purple Ocean expanded into something a little bit more broader?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to give myself that ability. So you know, I tagged on the superfood.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you've expanded your menu quite a bit, right?
Yeah. So
Are
I
you
was,
still in your kitchen doing stuff, or now do you
I-
have a?
so I'm in
team?
the restaurant kitchen doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay,
now.
you are.
Yeah.
Mad
so
scientists, kind of.
yeah, I don't employ a chef or anything. It's just myself and my
No
team.
That's
way.
cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
myself and my team.
That's
And
so cool.
actually, a big pillar in the kitchen is actually my aunt. So we're a family run business.
Okay.
Right.
And she's got some mad culinary like abilities.
Yeah.
And
Generational knowledge.
Yeah.
and
on
just,
another
like,
level.
yeah,
Wild,
sure.
wild,
Yeah.
wild. You know, she's the type where, you know, she doesn't even measure stuff.
Love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love to see
Yeah,
people
she's
cook like
just
that.
going in. Boom,
I've
boom,
tried
boom,
that
boom.
so many times.
And then
like,
she'll-
That's how I
and then-
feel anytime I put salt on anything.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
I know how much to put on.
Yeah. And then she's the type, well, she'll just stick it in your face. She's like, try this. You know,
That's
she's
awesome.
that type of aunt.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Dang.
So I give her free liberty to roam around the kitchen and
try stuff
and be creative. And we came up with the house sauces, and they're all 100% vegan. We do them all in house, and she was a big part of those sauces too. So
How many house sauces do you have?
I've got 4 right now. I've got the cilantro aioli, the guava sauce. I've got the rosada, and then I have a honey mustard, a vegan honey mustard.
Nice.
Nice. That
Yeah.
sounds
And you say all of your stuff is locally, like all your fruit?
A lot of our stuff is locally. We had some supply chain issues, so there
Yeah.
are some stuff that we've had to,
For sure.
snag elsewhere, source elsewhere. But for the most part, yeah.
And you had the food trucks set up. So during COVID, did that help you to have like?
So during COVID, it was a very unique experience,
Sure.
obviously for all of us.
But the food truck industry kind of exploded.
I'll tell you
at
why.
that.
I think, and I'll tell you why I believe, and this is just me kind of reading, just the masses and how they move. But they wanted to go to a place where they felt normal. And the food truck
Sure.
concept was essentially untouched.
Yeah.
You still had,
Outdoors.
outdoor grab and go.
Yeah.
But it was a restaurant.
Correct. But it was a
Right.
restaurant.
So you could still feel like social.
Correct.
in a
And it was,
social
and
environment.
I think that really just blew it out of the water.
Sure. Yeah.
So are your goals to add more food trucks or more restaurants or both?
So I'm still trying to find kind of my way in the two, and what I believe it would still, be very Purple Ocean-esque.
Yeah.
So I am actually still moving towards the food truck concept, just because food trucks just feel so local.
They do.
And homey.
man. They
Yeah.
do.
Doesn't matter where you
Even
put
if
them,
there's
and what
10 of 'em
company,
there.
and what company. Even if you I've seen big marketing companies and big companies just deploy mobile units into neighborhoods just to really, gear up the marketing or gear up, kind of their name in the area. And if they're
almost more
doing
grassroots,
Yeah.
you know,
Grassroots,
it's
yeah.
almost more grassroots campaigning.
But you could do so much with a campaign like that.
Oh,
like you
for
can have
sure.
multiple different chains. You could even have like a gourmet, like sit down restaurant if you wanted to, and it all can be, branch from your
yeah.
Yeah.
the food truck.
And
It's
that's
so cool.
and that's actually what we're moving towards,
Yeah.
because I don't want each location to be the same.
Right.
I want
That's
it
cool.
to have its own experience.
That's cool.
And I've moved more into kind of the elevated experience.
Yeah.
Well, that
So-
keeps it less chain like franchise
Correct.
like, even though that's the motto you're kind of doing. But if you keep it very individual based and
Yeah, because
unique,
then they can say, "Yo, did you go to the one in Longwood? It has this kind of vibe."
Right.
Did you go to the
Right.
one down there in University City? It has this kind of thing.
and then you
know?
can pick
So-
your favorite one if you wanted to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
Or
idea, man.
take a trip to one that you haven't been or
right,
something.
right, because you know it's
So
going to be a different experience.
keep it hip, keep it new,
And all
keep
the
it
menus
modern.
the same, or the
All the menus are the same.
Okay.
I do have some locations that we have limited a menu. We just do acai bowls there.
Yeah.
Until obviously, because we're a baby company, right? We just started, so
Not for
like
long, my
we're
friend.
long.
Not for
You're,
long.
you're a quadruplet baby.
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. You're
Pat
grown
yourself
up.
I
with
think
both
you're
hands.
at least a toddler now.
Hell yeah. you're a toddler.
You do.
Probably potty trained.
Well, I appreciate that, but
Yeah.
I like to think of it as there's so much more work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Always.
I
There's
feel like
always
you're
more
gonna
work
be
to do.
you're gonna be even bigger and stuff.
Oh
when you
yeah.
say
Yeah.
that,
Let us
the
know
way
if you
are.
need investors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We
Yeah,
can definitely talk
dude.
about it.
So if people want to follow you on social, how do they find you? Are you
So
still
on
doing
social media-
events and the food truck events?
Yeah,
and
so
stuff?
I'm opening up actually the catering division back up.
Nice.
So whoever's watching the podcast, if you guys are interested in doing some catering, please reach out to us. Social media is going to be Purple Ocean Superfood Bar all together.
Okay.
And then obviously Twitter. I've got it all: Snapchat,
All this stuff.
TikTok.
Cool.
Like
We're gonna
the
have to
whole
go do.
thing.
We should go do some content.
Facebook,
there.
Yeah,
of
we
course.
should.
Facebook.
Yeah,
of
we're gonna
course.
come there. We'll eat,
I think this is the good part
Let's
about
do
the podcast where we could do that. We can
I know.
go and
You guys
We'll do
come
some more
out.
stuff
Let me know
sometime.
when, and we'll
do a big thing.
have a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
can't wait.
awesome.
So, man,
Yeah.
I'm like starving
Yeah.
now.
I
And
know,
I've actually
I
got
can't
some
wait,
new menu
too.
items that I'm wanting to kind of share with some people. So if you guys want to come out and try that,
exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Love
Vivian,
it.
you want to come?
Yeah.
Vivian always wants to.
Vivian's in.
yeah.
Let's go.
She's not in her head. Cool.
Well, we've enjoyed having you on the show. We
Dude, you're an
appreciate it a
inspiration,
lot.
man. For real.
Yeah,
thank
like,
you. I
dude,
appreciate
it's
that.
Keep up the
awesome,
great
man.
work, and
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for putting Orlando on the map,
On the map.
and having that kind
love
of
it.
vision to keep us on the map. That sense. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Man.
Yeah, I love to be here, and I always like to say, if there's anybody out there that wants to reach out because they need some, help with their small thing that they're doing, or if they're a young entrepreneur or anything like that, I would love to, connect with whoever it is and really help them out.
That's
Dude,
fantastic.
amazing.
Josiah.
Yeah.
you're sweet,
Josiah.
man.
Thank you
That's
so much,
awesome.
Josiah.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Smooth as butter.
All right.
Awesome.
I see you later.
I saw you later.
I saw you later.
I see you later.
That
I
wasn't
tried.
good.
That was
All right.
bad. We'll cut that.
I'll say you
Look
for
at
Orlando all day.
Sweet. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks, Josiah.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys.